Hey guys, welcome back to AF Farms. So today we're going to do some grape harvesting. So you may see some new additions to the farm fleet. So I've picked up a grape harvester, so the New Holland, and we've also got a JCB fast track on special. So it was reduced, so I've picked that up, and we've also leased a trailer for the grapes. So I've got a relatively small patch to harvest, so this will be the first time I've actually dabbled in the grape harvesting game, so we'll see how we go. And this low loader, which you can see here, is also a new addition also. Just makes, if I can remember how to lower this, which makes transport to and from the shop for large equipment so much easier. I mean, I can comfortably fit 3 tractors on here. No worries at all. Alright, so let's go over to the patch of grapes that is ready to go. So it's in September, so September I think is the only month. September or October, potentially, are the only months you can harvest grapes with seasons turned on. Obviously, if you don't have seasons turned on, you can do it anytime. Well, not anytime, but after the growth states are all done. So I'll leave that guy there. Let's get back to our... Excuse me. So this is the broad grape harvester. So there's 2 versions of this. One's for grapes. One is for olives. Slightly different configuration. I think the olive one has a bigger mouth chute just here. But pretty cool bit of gear. And this is why I left a bit of space here to drive these sort of vehicles through. So we're going to tackle this small patch of grapes here, see how many we get, take them over to the grape processing unit and see what happens. So let's unfold the harvester. So I'm not quite sure even what happened there. I just lifted it up. Okay, so it was raised. I turned it on. Now, I'm pretty sure you can't hire a worker to do this. So let's have a look. This is going to be a bit tricky. Alright, there we go. So what the grape harvester actually does is, you can see it there, it vibrates and shakes the vine, and that's how the grapes are harvested. So let's might just skip a row. So you can see the animation in there. If I hold it steady, just shakes that vine back and forth. Grapes then get collected up in the hopper up there. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, let's see if we can. And then we shoot out the leaves and the remaining stuff out the back. So pretty interesting little machine. Okay, let's go and do this row. Okay, oh, it looks like I'm stuck. So it is a little bit tricky to drive, to be honest. I almost feel like it's better to drive it in this view, because then that way I can see where I'm going. And it obviously pays to have long rows, so you're not having to turn so often. So let's try this. So I think as long as you get... I was watching a video actually, so if you use these... So there's two little beams there. Well, basically the center of the machine. So if you're in this view here, you can pretty much pick it up. Cool. Alright, that didn't take too long. Let's go over to the bigger section now. Alright, so what we'll do, guys, is I'll fast forward this section here, and then we'll come back and see how much we'll probably do a check-in at halfway, and we'll see how we're going. So stay tuned, and let's see how many we get. Alright, that's our first load done. So let's go and grab our trailer. So I've done probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows, plus the little patch over here. And that's given us a load of about 3,000 litres. So I can't remember how many litres this trailer holds. So I'm going to have to back this in. If I can be nice and straight about it. There we go. So even if I just get into the harvester and back this up the rest of the way. Now I'm pretty sure you just get up here like this. And then just tip that into the trailer like so. And it looks like there's some spilling over the side, but that's just the animation. It's all getting picked up by the trailer, and we're good to go for the next run. So I'll do this next section and see you again in a few minutes. Alright, here we go, load number 2. So we are sitting at about 27 minutes of real time to do this patch of grapes. So obviously we're cutting out the majority of the harvesting, because it's pretty much the same thing over and over again, as you can imagine. So let's see how full this trailer is getting actually. So we're about nearly 50%, say. Alright, let's get this guy underway again. Turn the harvester on. And we're off. Alright guys, see you in a few minutes. Alrighty, on the final run here. So we've got half a load here, which isn't too bad, I guess. I mean, I think the yields from grapes are pretty low anyway, considering the machine only really carries 3,000 litres. So in terms of real time, we're sitting at about 35 minutes. So it's taken me probably, let's say, half an hour to do this little patch. So you could imagine, so let's turn off the harvester so we can go a bit faster. You could imagine how long this would take to do the entire vineyard, which I don't think that's going to be something that I will do, just because of the time commitment for what we get out of it. I mean, if I could hire a worker, yep, happy days, I would do that anytime. But because we're a bit limited in that regard, it's probably just not something that I'm going to do very often. Just wanted to try it, see what it was like. Let's go and check the price of grapes quickly, actually. Alright, so grapes aren't worth a lot. That's disappointing. Actually, let's check their peak price. So they have a peak of $2,000. So for the time invested in looking after them, obviously I get more yield if I fertilised and did all the things that I was supposed to. But the fact that you've got to do it manually, it's really just not a profitable activity in game. I mean, it'd be awesome if you could get a mod to get, fruit pickers, so workers appearing in the field, picking the grapes by hand. That would be awesome. But currently, as it stands, it's just too labour intensive, in my opinion, unless you really love driving that grape picking machine. So we'll get these grapes into the grape processing unit. And I can just imagine how long it's going to take me to do all those olives. It'll probably take 2.5 to 3 hours, given the amount that I've got. So let's jump into the grape processing unit. So we can turn it into grape juice or raisins. So I think what we'll do is we'll go for raisins. And we'll distribute those, and we'll distribute those. So we really don't have a choice here. It's just going to take the grapes and turn them into a combination of these two. So the grape juice can obviously be sold directly, and the raisins can be used in cereal production. So let's go check the price of raisins and juice quickly. Okay, grape juice has a peak of $5,000, which is not too bad. Raisins, peak of 4.5, and this is on easy mode, economy settings, so that'll be less for medium and hard difficulty. I mean, eggs did get a nerf, but they're still pretty profitable, I think. Yeah, so even though they're 3,000, it's way less effort. And the money is much higher, so there's better options, I think, in game. But like I said, if you really love grapes and olives, using the equipment, trimming the hedges, all that sort of stuff, and I do like the look of them. I mean, the olive grove doesn't wither either, which is great, but the grapevines do. So if we just go around the front of the farm, we'll have a quick look. Actually, we'll go through the side here, it'll be easier. I'll just park him up here, jump out. I mean, it's a pretty cool trailer though. So they go this yellowy colour, so that's just been harvested, green. So they need to be cut back. And this is withered, I think. So if we check our... Yeah, it's technically withered. So I don't know if that's going to come back unless I trim it. So it just looks a bit yellowy. So just jump into the build mode quickly. You can see how many grapes I've got. I can't even imagine how long it would take me to harvest that by hand. It'd be at least 2 hours, if not 3 hours, which is just a bit too much for me. But there you go, that's grapes. Pretty cool addition to the game. I mean, I'd love to see a fruit picking option, so getting people in here to actually pick it, other than driving the machinery, or if we could get the machinery to drive in there with a worker, I mean, that'd be great too. But I understand there's limitations with the devs, and the game itself might not be possible in this edition of the game, but we'll see what happens. Never say never, right? Alright, well, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy the content. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.